In this video, I'm gonna show you how to get the best vlog settings for your Sony A6400. Let's get it. Hey, what's up? It's Omar with Think Media, helping you with the best tips and tools for building your influence with online video. And on this channel, we do YouTube strategy tips as well as tutorials just like this one. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. We love the Sony A6400, not only because of all its features, but just because it is a great camera to vlog with. But we understand that a lot of people bought this camera probably for the very first time, or maybe it's their first camera in general. And you know, it may be a lot to take in. However, we don't recommend shooting on auto. If you bought this camera, you can really get some great crispy video out of it. And so we're gonna show you a very simple way to set up your camera so you can set it and forget it and get to posting videos. All right, so the first thing you wanna do, of course, is get into movie mode. We're gonna head right into movie mode with the dial. And then the second thing, if you have your exposure setting on either manual or program, you wanna change that to shutter priority. And the way you do that is you go into the menu, under the second tab right over here, you can see exposure mode. We're gonna change that to shutter priority. The reason why this is important to change out is because when vlogging, the one thing you kind of don't want to change, to be honest, is your shutter speed. It's what's gonna keep your video looking consistent all the way through, whether you're inside, outside, you know, awkward lighting, good lighting. You just wanna make sure that the movement that's going on in the video is good for the person that's gonna watch your vlogs, i.e. their vlogs. And so you just wanna make sure that you lock that in. Now that you have your exposure mode set to shutter priority, now based off of your frame rate, you just simply double that, and that's what you set your shutter speed to. So here at Think Media, we usually do 30 frames per second. So we're just gonna make sure that we're shooting in 4K, 30 frames per second. As you can see, we have that all set up, which means you want your shutter speed to be 1/60th of a second. And so I'm just gonna crank that right down from 500 to 60. If you wanna do 24 frames, that's totally fine. You can do 50 on your shutter speed. And then if you're gonna shoot 60, you wanna do 125 on your shutter speed. The next thing is changing your ISO to auto. So this is kind of like, again, a set it and forget it kind of setup for your Sony A6400. So we're just gonna put the ISO on auto. And now what's gonna happen is your camera is gonna work with auto and aperture to adjust your exposure. So you can see from this just example footage we shot right here, from inside my house, which is pretty chill lighting, I go outside and the camera is literally changing the exposure for me. And with my shutter speed just staying locked on, now it's very consistent, it's still smooth. Yes, maybe my aperture is a little high, but at least the shot's very consistent as far as motion jitter goes. From inside the car, you know, we wanna just make sure that you can go inside, outside, not even have to adjust settings, and it's kind of just gonna do it for you. And so now that we're inside, it's on aperture f4. Ruby, what you doing? What you doing? The fourth thing you wanna set up is your focus settings. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna change our focus mode to continuous. Make sure it's not on manual, but it's on continuous. And then you wanna change your focus area to wide. You want the camera to take the full picture into consideration when choosing what to focus on. And so if you change the focus area to, let's say, you know, a flexible spot, the issue is if your face is outside of this square, it's not gonna be able to grab focus. And so that's why it's really important to just make sure that's on wide. And it actually makes face detection much easier, which leads me to my fifth thing, and that is turning on face detection. It's so nice to actually have that all set up. So we're just gonna turn face priority on. As you notice, like I'm just jumping into shortcuts. We did a video talking about the best shortcuts for this camera. If you wanna check that out, we'll put it in the YouTube card and in the description below. And simply saying that's why I have those shortcuts set up is just so we can jump in. If we're gonna go into vlog mode, could simply go into FN, or we can go into my menu settings under menu, and it's all ready to go and super easy to set up. But let's say you didn't watch that video. I think one thing, if you have yet to do, just go into your second menu option on page 9 and under focus touch operation, just make sure you hit touch tracking, because the camera comes out of box on touch focus. Touch tracking enables real-time autofocus, which is why people rave about this camera. It has incredible autofocus, but when you enable touch tracking, it really unlocks the full potential of that capability. Also, when it comes to vlogging and kind of your setup, some suggestions we recommend here at Think Media is definitely when vlogging, you wanna go with a wide lens. For this setup, we have the 10-18 f4 Sony lens. One of the best vlogging lenses, reason being is because this lens has optical steady shot. And what that means simply is that there is technology in this lens to lessen jitter. And if you didn't know, the Sony A6400 doesn't have in-body image stabilization, and so adding a lens that has optical steady shot is pretty key and very helpful. Second is microphone or audio. You just wanna make sure you pick a good shotgun mic. Rode makes one that doesn't require battery. We're currently using the Deity V-Mic D3. Super cool mic because it kind of shuts on and off with the camera. The third thing you want to think about is a relocation mount for your mic, and that comes because the hot shoe mount is obviously in a position where it takes away the ability to use the flip up screen, which is what's awesome about this camera for vlogging. And so you want to make sure you have a good relocation mount, and we'll put all this stuff in the YouTube description below, so make sure to check those links out. Question of the day is, what lens are you vlogging with your Sony A6400? Let us know in the comment section below, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.